I never expected to be the punchline of my own family's jokes. Evelyn will be the next big thing. They'd laugh, their voices dripping with sarcasm as I sat in the corner, my hands trembling around a sketchpad. I was the artist in a family of corporate giants, a black sheep in a flock of tailored suits and polished shoes. They'd smile at my doodles, pat me on the head like a child, then return to discussing quarterly profits like it was the only language they understood. Look at her, pretending to be an artist. My brother Mark would snicker, his eyes glinting with challenge. What's next? A degree in finger painting? Every time I'd hear those words, an invisible weight settled deeper into my chest. I wanted to scream, to throw my sketchpad across the room and demand they see me. But instead, I'd smile tightly, my laughter mingling with theirs, pretending I didn't care. Pretending that my dreams of creating something beautiful didn't matter in a world obsessed with numbers. That all changed the day I received the call. The CEO of Carter Industries, my family's company, wanted to meet with me. My heart raced as I stared at the screen, the name flashing like a beacon of hope. Why would he want me? I arrived at the towering glass building, the wind whipping through my hair, carrying my anxious thoughts away. I stepped inside, the air thick with ambition, and rode the elevator to the top floor. As the doors slid open, I found myself in a sleek office adorned with framed awards and corporate art that screamed success. Evelyn, he said, standing up from behind a massive desk, his hand extended. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you for having me, I managed, my voice barely above a whisper as I took his hand. It felt like shaking a statue, cold, hard, unyielding. I've been watching your work, and I think there's a place for you here, he said, gesturing for me to sit. We need fresh ideas, someone with a different perspective. Are you sure you've got the right person? I asked, my heart pounding. I'm just an artist. He chuckled, a deep rumble that made me question whether he was genuinely amused or simply humoring me. Exactly. I want to tap into that creativity. Imagine integrating art into our branding, making our company stand out in an oversaturated market. My mind whirred with possibilities. I'd offer you a substantial salary, he continued, more than you've ever made. Think of what you could do with that kind of funding. Funding, I echoed, my voice echoing in the cavernous office. For art. Not just art, Evelyn. We're talking about a complete rebranding, a chance to reshape how people perceive the Carter name. The idea felt intoxicating, but fear clawed at me. What about my family? I asked, biting my lip. They'll never accept me in that world. He leaned forward, his eyes piercing mine. Your family has made a joke of your passion. This is your chance to prove them wrong. To take the reins of your own life. I felt the weight lifting, a flicker of hope igniting within me. I'll think about it. The next few weeks were a blur. I spent sleepless nights sketching ideas, envisioning vibrant campaigns that would blend my artistry with their corporate ethos. The thought of finally being taken seriously filled me with a burning desire. But the moment I shared my plans with my family, the laughter returned. Evelyn, darling, my mother said, her voice dripping with condescension. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but your ideas are, how do I put this delicately, unconventional. Unconventional. I snapped, my voice rising. This is the chance of a lifetime. I can't believe you're dismissing me like this. Mark leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, a smug grin spreading across his face. Let's not kid ourselves, Ev. You've always been a dreamer. You think they'll take you seriously? I felt my heart sink. They already are. I'm meeting with clients, discussing designs. This is real. Real? Or just another fantasy, he scoffed. You'll embarrass us, just wait. I stormed out, the laughter still echoing in my ears. But I wasn't going to let them drag me down. I had a plan, a vision, and I was going to make it happen. The first meeting with the board was tense. My palms were slick with sweat as I stood at the front of the room, a projector flickering behind me. Good afternoon, I began, but my voice wavered. Let's cut to the chase, one of the older members interrupted, his expression one of skepticism. What exactly do you propose? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to recall the passion that had ignited my dreams. I want to create a campaign that shows our commitment to innovation while embracing the artistry that comes with it. We can collaborate with local artists, showcase their work, and in turn, demonstrate how we're investing in the community. The room erupted in murmurs, a mix of confusion and disbelief. Are you suggesting we hand over our branding to a bunch of unknowns? Another voice chimed in, a hint of derision lacing his words. No, that's not it at all, I replied, my heart racing. It's about bringing fresh ideas into a stale environment. We have to evolve, or we'll become obsolete. Obsolete? Mark's voice cut through the air like a knife. You really think that's what the company needs? A bunch of murals and street art? Art is powerful, Mark. I shot back, my cheeks burning. It tells a story. It connects with people on a level that numbers never will. He scoffed, shaking his head. We're not a gallery, Ev. We're a business. Exactly, and that's why we need to differentiate ourselves. To stand out. I felt the heat rising in my chest, the adrenaline fueling my conviction. But the meeting did not go as I'd hoped. The board members exchanged glances, their expressions unreadable. Let's table this discussion for now, the CEO finally said, his voice a mix of disappointment and diplomacy. We'll reconvene next week. I left the meeting feeling crushed. My family's laughter echoed in my mind, a haunting reminder of their disbelief. Days turned into weeks, and my once vibrant ideas began to dim under the weight of their skepticism. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of doubt, each wave crashing down harder than the last. Then came the day I received a call from the CEO again. Evelyn, can we meet? His voice was serious, and my heart dropped. Of course, I replied, dread pooling in my stomach. When I arrived, he was waiting, his expression grave. I've been thinking about your ideas, he started, his tone hesitant. The board isn't convinced. They want to see concrete results before moving forward. Concrete results? I echoed, panic rising in my throat. But I've been working on the designs, the concepts. I can show them how it will work. I know, he said gently. But they need something more tangible. Something that proves your vision can translate into profit. I felt the walls closing in. You're saying I need to sell out? To compromise my vision? No, not at all. But if you want to make this work, you'll need to prove that art can drive business. You need to take a risk. Risk, I repeated, the word tasting bitter on my tongue. I believe in you, Evelyn, he said, his eyes steady on mine. But you have to believe in yourself, too. That night, I sat in my tiny apartment, staring at my sketches scattered across the floor. The shadows of doubt loomed large, and I felt the weight of my family's expectations pressing down on me. But what did I really want? To please them or to create something meaningful? I took a deep breath and began sketching again, this time with ferocity. The outlines blurred, colors bled into each other, and I poured all my frustration, all my dreams onto the page. When I was finished, I had a vision, a bold, vibrant campaign that showcased the intersection of art and commerce. The following week, I presented my new ideas to the board. This is what I want to do, I declared, my voice steady. Instead of just using art, let's create an event that brings the community together and showcases local talent while promoting the Carter brand. The room fell silent, the board members leaning in, their skepticism slowly melting away as I explained how the event could draw in potential clients, create partnerships, and highlight our commitment to innovation. An art festival? Mark interjected, disbelief etched on his face. Not just any festival, I replied, my heart racing. A festival that celebrates creativity and encourages collaboration between businesses and artists. It's about positioning us as a leader in corporate responsibility. The CEO nodded, his expression thoughtful. I see potential here, Evelyn. But can you deliver? Give me the chance, I urged, the fire in my belly igniting once more. I'll show you. After a long pause, the board members exchanged glances. All right, the CEO said finally. We'll give you the green light. But you have 1 month to prove this can work. As relief washed over me, I couldn't help but glance at Mark. His expression was a mix of disbelief and begrudging respect. You really think you can pull this off? He asked, crossing his arms. I have to, I replied, determination surging within me. This is my moment. I dove into planning the festival, each day a whirlwind of meetings, phone calls, and creative brainstorming. I reached out to local artists, businesses, and community leaders, weaving together a tapestry of collaboration that began to take shape. As the days passed, excitement buzzed in the air, and I could feel the energy shifting. The event was a reflection of my passion, and for the first time, I felt like I was part of something bigger than myself. The night of the festival arrived, the air thick with anticipation. I stood at the entrance, my heart racing as attendees began to filter in. Where's the art? Mark grumbled as he walked past, his tone skeptical. Just wait, I said, unable to suppress my smile. As the sun set, the festival came alive. Colorful installations dotted the landscape, artists painted live, and laughter mingled with music. Families mingled, artists showcased their talents, and business cards exchanged hands. I watched as the crowd grew, my heart swelling with pride. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about the community. Evelyn. The CEO approached, a grin splitting his face. This is incredible. The turnout is beyond our expectations. I can't believe it, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I never thought. You've proven yourself, he interrupted, his eyes sparkling with approval. This is what Carter Industries needs, innovation and heart. With each moment, I felt my family's laughter fading into the background, replaced by the sound of applause and excitement. As the night wore on, I found Mark standing by a vibrant mural, his expression contemplative. You did it, he admitted, his voice low. Thanks, I guess, I replied, trying to hide my surprise. He shook his head, a hint of admiration flickering in his eyes. I didn't think you had it in you. Neither did I confessed, a smile breaking free. The festival ended on a high note, and as I stood beneath the stars, I knew I had carved my place in this world. I had transformed the family joke into a testament of strength, turning laughter into applause. In the end, it was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving to myself that I could rise above the expectations, that I could create a legacy that would make my family proud in a way I had always dreamed. And as I watched the community come together, I realized that sometimes the most significant risks lead to the most beautiful rewards.